Okay. I was running a little bit behind because I didn't plan on doing a slide presentation for you guys, but this morning I got this stream of information and we needed to make it visual. So I was in the last literally hour just making it all happen. So it may look wonky, but hopefully I can explain it better to you. And hello, Becky, as well. So welcome those of you who are joining me live for this special session, which I hope will plant a lot of seeds for you, help you. It will be partially, I guess, channeled information from the Akashic Records. I have opened Akashic Records already. Let's face it, it's been coming since last night. But also partially I want to share with you my personal experiences just to ground it a little bit for you so that you don't think I'm just telling you this woo-woo stuff, but how does it work in practice? So we're going to do a bit of a mixture towards the end, and this is particularly because like it's fun being here live with me, with us, we're bathing in each other's energies. But if you're watching this on replay, especially towards the end, I do want to share with you a couple of ways that I guess we can take this into a more intimate, personalized space. So if you wish to follow me there, you can, but if not, hopefully you will get everything you need in this session. You will have the replay available till Tuesday, I believe. And then it's going to go away. So because I really want those of you who are watching this on replay to actually watch it. I don't want you to put this away and go like, yeah, I'll come back to this. I want you to watch it because we need you to get going and make magic in this world with your beautiful gifts. So where we're going to start is the way I like to start my sessions, because we've all come from different places. We have, had maybe crazy mornings, and it's nice to center ourselves and share our energy and just become very present. So let's just close our eyes and do a bit of an invocation just to make sure that we are here ready to receive this information. So just take a nice few deep breaths in and allow yourself to relax. And as you exhale, nice and slowly, just let go of any heaviness, anything that feels clunky, just let it go. Inhale, open up your energy field, ready to receive. We are going to receive information that will affect our soul, not so much the mind. And exhale, becoming very present. One last time, just inhale, center yourself. Exhale, dropping into your heart space where you will be able to integrate all the information and just understand it really. And as we come together in a circle, we like to open a sacred teaching circle because I believe that if we connect as a group, we have a better chance of taking away powerful stuff from it. We uplift each other. So just see everyone coming together in this beautiful circle in the astrals. And if you're watching this on replay, just know that you are already part of this circle and we welcome you. Hello, hello. Just bring your awareness to your heart. Allow that light that shines within you to grow bigger, to grow brighter. Allow it to fill your whole body, the whole auric field. Allow it to really illuminate everything around you, even the room that you're in. Now bring your awareness back to your heart, to that center, and channel all that energy to go out and into the center of the circle where it will meet the energies of everyone else. And allow yourself to receive love and support from everyone. But also share your love and support, your loving light with everyone. knowing very well that you are not losing any of your energy. It multiplies, and we are safe. I would like to call in our guides, our loved ones, angel babies, any other benevolent being that wishes to assist in this session, to help us understand, to allow our analytical mind to step aside so that it goes straight into our souls for all the transformations to occur. I would like to call in our gatekeepers to stand in circle around us and ensure that we only interact with beings of love and light. And so it is. Take a nice deep breath in to take it all in and out. And when you're ready, come back to this. So I hope that those of you watching this on replay, you could join us in this and you feel nice and expanded on here, especially if you had a hectic day. So what I'm going to do is actually show you my show and tell first, because what are we going to hear? Like I said, it's a very short one, really nothing big, but it was a very easy way, they said, of explaining this a really, really important part. So that we're just going to go away. What was this? Oh, we're going to start with this. I know you're not in a science class, but this is very important to know. So I hope you can see this beautiful universe. And you can see that the universe is made up of energy. Like 99.99999% is energy. And only 0.0001% is physical matter. And this is a very important. Now, if I was in a traditional business class, none of this I would not show them, because I feel like to most people, this doesn't make sense. Like, why start there? Why aren't we talking about the niche and the clients and the structures? But you are all awakened souls. And I know that you are not just human. You know that probably, hopefully by now, that only a small percentage of this you, this physical you, is well, it's a small percentage of who you really are. There is, like, at best, maybe 10% this physical matter. And everything else about you is the soul, the energy, possibilities, right? It's that empty space, just like with the universe. So everything in the universe is actually energy. Most of it, most part of it is energy. And we have this belief. Now, I hope you can still see this if I do it like that. Like I said, it's a bit wonky, but I was doing it really, really quickly. Hang on, why is this here? Let me just move this up so I can see it. There we go. So, so if 99.9999% is vibrational energy, and those frequencies create, so we often think that our physical manifestations create energy. You know, that energy depends on the physical things that we do, that we have to take action in the physical world to see results. But actually, it's the opposite. And this isn't just me talking, this is science. I was just reminded this morning by the Akashic Masters of this scientific fact, that everything depends on energy. Okay, your soul clients, your aligned work model, success, abundance, your love life, your work life, work and personal life, the way you create your life, all of that depends on energy. Now, if we're energy and we create through energy, then we need to bring our focus from this physical us, which is only a tiny percent, to energy. Okay, so we spend quite a lot of time focusing on the human, the physical us. The thoughts that appear, we think they're real. The worries that we have, we think they're real. Any fears that pop up, anything around worthiness, anything around being good enough, being ready enough, like we assume it's all physical, it's all done. It's a matter of fact, you know, and it's not. It's energy. This energy enters your human mind as a thought, and you choose to amplify it. So if you are sitting thinking, I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy enough, or, you know, I need A, B, and C to get this business going, you are actually choosing to focus on the physical tiny little percentage that is you. And you are almost, I want to say, ignoring, neglecting the huge part where you have actually great influence and you can create amazing things. Now, we are focusing on work here, on our soul work. We're not going to focus on creating, you know, manifesting great things in life or your true love. But of course, this applies to everything, every area of your life. Now, for example, in Earth School, we are focusing on our energy, on us being an energetic being that manipulates the energy field, which is like a magnetic field, and we either attract people to us or repel. We attract or call in positive experiences, or we call in negative experiences. So if you look at the list on your right there, it says soul clients, right? So you know, in a regular business model, you would have your ideal client avatar, right? And that's where they usually want you to start. Well, first of all, they want you to start with, you know, your niche, who's your ideal client, and you need to figure that out before you even get going. And I have found in my work with the few one-on-one clients that I have worked with who were trying to build their business, that's where they came in with that knowledge. Like, I've got to figure out my soul client, and I've got to figure out, you know, my niche, and that kept them stuck for weeks. So I let them be at first because they were so convinced that that's where they need to start, and it took them a really long time because they don't know. And here is one. There is two ways of doing business, right? There are the people, like I said, who aren't awakened fully, who aren't aware that they are here to do their soul work. They just think, okay, well, I want to build wealth, or I want to leave a legacy, or I want my kids to carry on something, or I was born into a family of, and I want to carry that forward. So it makes sense for me to start this business that is separate from me. And it doesn't matter what type of business, could be a donut shop, could be a law firm, it doesn't really matter, but it's a separate entity to them. Now, then you have spiritual entrepreneurs. And spiritual entrepreneurs are more, the reason they struggle is because they have this conflict within them. I'm here to do my soul work, and I'm not sure where and what direction, but I'm being told that I need to sit down and figure this out in terms of who my clients are, what my niche is. So you're being distracted with elements that are not relevant to you, because this is not how we are here to do our work, okay? That takes away your attention and your energy, and instead of focusing on things that really matter to us as light workers, spiritual entrepreneurs, whatever we want to call ourselves, we are so focused on, well, what are my clients? What is my niche? Now, you may have noticed that I've written aligned work model. I didn't write business model, because to us, what we do is not just a business, a separate entity from us. It's not often going to be a just, you know, from AM to PM, whenever you start and finish, you know, those are my business hours and I turn things off. Often, and I have found this, as these light workers, we work around the clock. And it's not that you will have to do, so much work and it will feel really tedious, but just think about it. Meditating, nurturing yourself, making sure that you feel good, right? That you get enough sleep, that you eat well. That's all part of your work model. And why? Because all these elements create a beautiful, positive energy field. They raise your vibration. They make sure that you are in good vibrations. And when you are, you will see the ripple effect and more people will come to you. Just think about the people that maybe you're following on Facebook or Instagram that are perhaps fellow spiritual people, or maybe even influencers. Like the ones that you probably follow are the ones that are happy and vibrant and they entertain you. So when you go to their account, you forget about your own world for a few moments, right? They entertain you. Now, I'm not saying there could be serious stuff that you might be looking up on Instagram or Facebook, but for the better part, I hope that the people that you gravitate towards are the fun, light, something about them makes you want to watch every video. Their energy is amazing. There is this saying amongst coaches, come and tap into my energy, plug into my energy. And I know it's a very overused, very trendy buzzword, and I'm not sure if people fully understand what it is and why they're using it. Maybe subconsciously they do, but what that means is, see, we have opened up this sacred teaching ground. Now we have opened this sacred circle. And like my energy, I did my work this morning to make sure that I am at my best with energy, right? Like I'm positive. I made sure that I am high vibing. I've left anything that doesn't belong here or you don't need to worry about outside. Well, my life is pretty good, so I don't really have much, but like I went to the beach this morning, I meditated, which is why I was running late to make these slides. And I could have just said, you know what, guys, thanks, but that's a little bit short notice. I'm going to skip it. But no, because I knew they showed it to me for a reason and we needed the graphic. So it's not perfect, but I'm not going to worry about it because I wanted to make this for you so you can see it, because they believe that is what we need, right? But I also wanted to honor my energy and I wanted to prepare myself for this session. So, so your aligned work model is not a business structure, okay? We'll talk about all of this in a minute, but also your energy will affect your success and abundance, because if you believe that you are not worthy of making money, or that your work can't generate the money, or that good things just don't happen to you, or abundance is for everyone else but not for you, if you really, really, truly believe that, you are creating such an energy field around you that any abundance, any success is repelled, okay? Everything that happens in your physical world is a reflection of how we feel inside. And this is important. This is important for any area in your life. Okay, so instead of focusing on your niche and your clients, ask yourself, where am I needed? How can I help? How can I be of service? How can I contribute? Ask yourself that. How can I? Now, and to be honest, when someone works with me one-on-one, a big part of it is me encouraging you to work with your guides, with God, with your higher self, whoever you believe is a part of your astral team. Yes, God can be, because you are God. You are part of the source. You are the physical representation of God. So things like this, focus on where I am needed. This is something that I would take into my journal, into my automatic journal. Or if you do Aki, take it there, go into the Akashic Records, go into your meditation. Now, here is something that I want to share with you. So every now and then, when I have outgrown a container, and I don't mean like a course or something that I'm running, but I just mean like the way I'm doing work, and I have outgrown it. There is this moment where I'm like, okay, so where are we going now? What's happening? This shaky moment. I get that. The only difference is I know what to do now. I know all I have to do is just find some time, go into meditation, and ask them. Now, I like to go into meditation, ask them, because I like the energy that they bring and it elevates me. But sometimes I don't have the time. Sometimes all I can do is just write and bring it into my journal and do a bit of automatic writing. Sometimes I don't even have that, and I'm in a car by myself for like 15 minutes. So I ask there, and a stream of information comes. So I encourage you to do the same thing. Okay, connect with your astral team. Ask them to show you the next part. I actually even say, okay, this is what we're doing. You want me to manipulate energy, you want me to show children how to trust their intuition, then you bring me the right people. And I'm going to share with you examples out of my life that are true. So some of you may know that I have a little tiny, I don't have it. I do it with my daughter, a little tiny label of candles. And it got to a point sometime last year around November where it was so challenging for me to keep up with candles and keep up doing my work, especially as we were winding things down for the year and we're tying things up, that I was like, okay, I don't know where my attention needs to go. So I've asked them, I said, okay, if you want me to focus this week on candles, then in the next 24 hours, I want to see a sale. If I see a sale in the next 24 hours, then I know my focus needs to go there. And 24 hours passed, 25, 26, I believe it was something like 29 hours passed. On the 29th hour, that's when a sale came. But 24 hours, I was like, okay, we have passed the 24 hours. There's no sale. Sign received, message received. And it's like they have this great sense of humor where they waited these couple of hours and then I got the can. Now, I could have gone into, that's a bit confusing. No, we said 24 hours. We said for 24 hours. So we play like this, right? So then I said, okay, so we're not focusing on can. So where should my focus go? And I asked him, and literally within, again, 24, 48 hours, I had 2 people sign up for sessions, live pass sessions as well, which is, a big, huge sessions for me. So I knew, okay, that's where I need to focus. So is it all in their hands and you have no control? Absolutely not. But I know how sometimes we feel shaky, especially when we have outgrown something, when we're ready to take the next project, but we're not quite sure which way to go. So you could ask a coach, right? And you could brainstorm it. You could ask friends and sit with pen and paper and brainstorm it. You could do it by yourself. You could pull out a big sheet and start brainstorming these things. But you could also ask them. Say, show me. And they bring you people, they bring you clients. And partially this is what they always say, just make sure your energy is okay. Do this or rest more. I had a client who there was a period of a few days where she was really struggling. I think she was doing a launch, and I'm not a launch expert. I'll tell you in a minute about launching. And we're going to go a little bit more specific. But I'm not an expert in launching, so we were working on the energetics of it. And I could see she's dropping and she's feeling very unenthusiastic, and she was going to call it quits halfway through. And I said to her, okay, here's what you're going to do. You're going to walk away. There's nothing you can do that will benefit you right now. There's no point in you, because she was like a headless chicken going, should I go live? Should I do another post? Should I send an email? Should I do this? I'm like, you don't need to do anything. You've put it out there already. But now your energy is like, it's always like saying, don't come, don't come, don't come, because I'm really not sure what I'm doing. I said, I need you to go and take care of yourself. Go to the beach, go for a walk away. Forget about work today. And that's what she did. And then she came back the next day and she's like, oh my God, at the beach, I got so many ideas. I want to do this reel. I want to do this. I want to do it. Not I have to. I want to do it. I got this inspired, post, and I had to stop and write it. And I'm like, fantastic. See, that is a different energy, because now you're doing it because you want to, not because it makes sense. I should, because I'm running out of time, because the launch is only this plan, and blah, blah, blah. People can feel it. People can feel when you're desperate. People can feel, and trust me, I've played with this to show my clients, people can feel when you are desperate, or when you are, something is off with your energy, or you're trying to push people into something. They can feel it. They can feel when you show up with a fake facade just to make, that video or that session because you said you have to. So sometimes we do need a supportive group, right? Now, in my first episode on the 3 episodes that I've done around spiritual business, I was sharing with you how important a sisterhood, a mastermind is. Now, I don't believe personally that you need to, in order to be successful, you have to sign up with a business coach or a coach. It helped me, but what really helped me was the group around it. Okay, the group around it helped me. And if you heard that episode, I also went on to form it with a few friends, and just sitting in that energy and sharing things was really, really helpful. But what is also helpful is because you are sharing your message, your wisdom, without actually thinking, well, what is my message? So here is something interesting. We're going to go a little bit more specific. So I'm going to stop this now. I hope you managed to absorb this. Stop share. Okay, so I can see you all. So instead of focusing on what is my client, well, if you're a lawyer, it's easy because you can find a specialization that you want to specialize in, right? You can be a divorce lawyer, you can be an attorney, like you can, a defense lawyer, whatever. You can find your specialization. But for spiritual people, when your gifts are coming in and you're still trying to figure out what it is, and you're here to share it, focusing on the clients and the niche, again, is taking you away from actually doing what you are here to do. So instead, if you sit down and you go through the questions, how can I be of service? Where am I needed? How can I contribute? And then you just start sharing. Write down everything that you know already to be true. Okay, and when I say spiritual workers, it doesn't mean psychics and tarots only. You could be an artist who paints intuitively. You could be a lawyer who is very connected to their intuition, spiritual, and therefore you can sense maybe that there is more, or your intuition is telling you. Open yourself up to that. If you're a counselor, right? Open yourself up to that gift and go like, what else can I do with it? Can I feel the other person's energy? Can I see that they're not telling me everything, but I need them to tell me more? So write everything down that you already know to be true about your gift, okay? You can read cards, or you can do Reiki because you've done a course, or you are great with words. Don't write down anything like quantum healing, but I need to take that course, and that course is too expensive at the moment, okay? We're not talking about that. We're just focusing on what you already know. And then I would not recommend focusing on who your clients are. I feel like your guides will bring them to you, and you, by tuning into what you want your business to feel like, you will create such an energetic field around you that you will attract the right people. Can I tell you that I want to go back to 2010 when I started as a lash stylist, then teacher, then coach, all the way to here. I have never had a bad client that would leave a bad review or was hard work. Like I've never had it. And even when I did this other work where I wasn't fully aware of my energy, I was always the person that people said, you're always high on life. So my energy was always somehow positive and vibrant. But even more so when I started becoming aware of how powerful our energy is and how intentionally we can manipulate it by making yourself feel good, by visualizing what you want your business to feel like, not look like, not the structure, but feel into it. Do you want to do sessions from 9 to 5 every day? Does that feel good for you? Do you want to do in-person sessions or via Zoom? Feel into, like, I would like to, this is how I envisioned my business model. I want it to feel easy and effortless. I don't want to feel like I have to have perfect surroundings, because that's impossible with my kids. I don't want to feel like I have to show up in a particular outfit. I want to feel like, you know what, if I don't feel physical energy is right up there, but all my other energy is good, and so I can't be bothered getting dressed and done up. I want to feel like I can show up in pajamas, and that's okay. And you know what? On Wednesday, I accomplished that. I had a whole day, like 11 sessions. Top here was pajama, bottom was pajama. I was actually in my bedroom, because most of you know that that purple pink terrible wall is literally on my bed, because I had people here and that was the only quiet room. And I didn't cancel any sessions. We're flat, or I don't have the right space, because I knew everything is going to be okay. Everyone's going, like, if I'm in that room, even though it's my bed, which logically, when you think about a business model, that's not very professional, but I don't care, because I'm like, this is quiet. We're here. My pajamas were super cute. No one could tell probably. But then afterwards, I said to my husband, I am living the best life ever, because I was in my pajamas, and it wasn't about me. It was about the people that were coming to the session. And I want my work to feel like that. I want it to feel like I can take it on the road. I want it to feel like I can come to people if I want to. And that's why I don't have a brick and mortar place. I don't have a physical place. I don't want that. I don't want the responsibility of it. You might love that though, right? You might say, I want to start really early in the morning, and I want to finish by the time my kids are done with school, and then that's it. I'm closing shop. I'm not thinking about it. That's fantastic, right? You might say, no, I like an intentional morning. I want to start with meditation, eating, and then I want to start maybe the workday at 12. That is absolutely fine. You can start whenever you want to. So think about that. That is, in my opinion, way more important than structuring a business that will make sense in our 3D world. Okay, thinking about, well, I should probably have a space, but I don't have the money now, so I guess I can't do this. So I'm going to wait another year or two. Start with what you have right now. And the most important thing will be feeling into what you want your business to look like. Even see yourself like the people that are coming, see them like coming and saying, oh my gosh, Kasha, I just want to work with you. I have no idea what session I want to do, and they're like coming out of the bushes everywhere. And you're like, I just want to, here's my money. I just want to have a session with you. And I cannot tell you how many times I would be out somewhere having a day off or at the beach or whatever, and someone will sign up, and I have never seen them on any of my lives. So if I was working from my limited human analytical mind, this wouldn't make sense. I shouldn't be at the beach. I should be running something, right? I should be promoting something. Even that word feels really yuck to me. But I should be doing something. It wouldn't make sense. Why would this person that I have never seen in my lives, I have never seen in my circles, jump in and purchase my most expensive session? It's the energy. It's the energy. Now, I shared yesterday in Earth School something, because we're running a money session, and I've got to tell you, I feel always really weird about sharing money stuff with people, maybe because I'm not a money coach or business coach. I feel really funny, but I wanted to share with them because I wanted them to see how money is energy and it can literally come at any point. It won't come because you have an X amount of products or systems or because you follow a formula. I mean, that might work for the people that believe in it because we create what we believe. But if that feels a bit weird to you, that's not for you. And so I shared with them how I looked at my calendar on Sunday. This was still early on when I was still used to looking at my diary and going like, okay, this week I've got X amount of appointments, so I can expect X amount of money. And looking at my calendar, I had only 2 appointments. So I'm like, okay, that means whatever the amount is, very little, right? And before that, I asked my guides, how do I get out of this? Like, I don't want to be constantly tied up to this. I'm making money this week. I'm not making money. So that makes me feel sad. And I said, you have to look at money as energy coming in, not as what's written in your diary. And to show me in real life, on Friday, we were out, I think, I don't know, doing something, can't even remember. And my phone was going off every like few hours. PayPal was coming through. And as funny as I feel about sharing this, but I want to share this with you because for me, this was the turning point where I started to see that when we put things out with love and energy and code it with that energy, it can come in the most unexpected ways and has nothing to do with how many sessions you have booked for this week. I made about $2,000 and none of it was from anyone that I've spoken to, that I've seen, no one who has said, I'm going to jump into a program, I'm going to jump into a session. I have no idea where these people came. One actually bought a whole bundle of things as a gift. And again, I don't know this lady. So I don't know where, like, how did she even trust me with all these sessions? I've never done a session with her. And I don't think it's, especially back then, my written word, because I'm not greatest, you know, I've learned a little bit since then, but I wasn't like, I'm not a copywriter. So my only answer was they were showing me what energy can do. So even where you think you are right now and you think, well, I would like to make $10,000 a month in my business, but I just don't see how it's going to happen. I don't have the products, or I don't have the ideas, I don't have the means, I don't have the place. Forget about all of that. The more you get yourself out of that limited 3D thinking, that human thinking, and the more you see yourself as this energetic being who attracts things, attracts the right clients, attracts the right ideas that serve the people that need this, you know, the more you see yourself as, I am here to be of service, the more you will have abundance coming to you. I promise you. I don't believe that as a spiritual person, you need to live off donations. If that makes you truly happy, beautiful, because that's your energy. That's what you're focusing on. That's what you will have. And I believe that spirit always looks after us at the level that we want to. I have a friend, she literally charges like peanuts. And she always says to me, I am never without money. Okay, because that's her work. Now, some of us have family, she's retired, but some of us have families. Some of us, you know, want our children to go to good schools or, you know, have after school activities. We want to take holidays. We want to be able to buy new cars. Not me, because cars come to us to retire and we like drive them to the ground, right? Till they go to a car graveyard. But there are people who want that, right? I just want experiences. I want to travel. I want to, you know, go to places with my kids. For me, experiences are important. So what I want you to write down now is your values. Okay, that's the other thing that you need to think about. Values. What do you value? Is it freedom? Is it flexibility? Is it family? Is it creativity? Is it you know, cars? Like, what do you value? So have a think about that. Now, when you start doing this, believe it or not, you are playing with energy. You are already changing your thought patterns. And now you're going to become more and more aware. So this is the energetic part of it, right? The setting up, sort of getting a little bit clearer on what you are here to do. Just pick even one thing. If you're good at tarot and you love doing tarot and you've done it for friends and they always love it, or you just enjoy it, start with that. Just go like, I'm going to do readings. Okay, then comes a part where we are needing to show up and maintain it. Okay, I see so many people, they start off and just before they gain momentum, they fall off the face of the earth. And you don't see them for months and then they just appear. And then they get upset or disappointed, more maybe not upset, but disappointed that no one's coming because people are like, well, where were you? You were gaining momentum and then you just dropped off. So that's why it's important to take care of your energy, because if you pay attention to how you're feeling, you're not going to burn yourself out. You're not going to attract the wrong people. You're not going to overcommit. You're not going to be burning the candle on both ends. And when you start to feel like, okay, this doesn't light me up anymore, but I thought it's my purpose, so what's happening? You have just outgrown that container. This is what I mean. And you're ready for the next lot. And especially as a spiritual person that is simultaneously learning and expanding their gifts, their craft, you will find that, for example, I started with past lives. Okay, that's all I had. I had no idea about Akashic Records. The way you have experienced possibly my life past session, that's not how it started. So I didn't sit there with a notebook trying to figure out like what this will look like how do I structure this? It came bit by bit. It's like they were spoon feeding me. I had to wrap my head around these star seeds. What the heck are these star seeds? I've never heard of them. Once I learned that, more was coming. Then they started telling me, they showed me this beautiful Egyptian looking goddess, and they said, you need to learn more about her because there will be a group of people coming and you need to reconnect them with her. So I had to Google Egyptian woman with wings. Oh, Isis, goddess Isis. I had to learn about it. What I learned, and this is a little bit from my soul school, but they want you to collect cues because then they use these cues to show you. So if I had clients come and they would be showing me this woman, I'm like, I'm seeing this woman, I have no idea who she is. Is she a relative? Who is she? But now I knew, okay, goddess Isis. The moment I knew who goddess Isis was, I got like a group of 4 people, one after the other, booking sessions within, I think, 2 days. And they all needed to be reconnected because they were disciples of goddess Isis, if I remember correctly. And she was coming in and she was talking to me, and I wasn't blocking it because I knew who she was. So I was allowing her to speak to them. But still, when I finished after the first 2, I was like, okay, am I just making this stuff up? Now, how can it be that these people are coming up one after the other and they all need her? And then after the 4, it stopped. And I haven't seen or heard from goddess Isis for a while. And then again, so this is what I mean. You know, it's a living organism. And we don't need to limit ourselves to like, oh, this is my niche. You know, you might find that down the track, you do want to, you know, niche it a little bit, right? Like you just want to be an Akashic record reader, or you just want to do tarot, right? You might want to do that, but please don't limit yourself now. Now we're just playing. We know our gifts. We're just going out there and we're sharing. Here I am. I'm ready to help. Same as with clients. You might realize I don't actually like working with, I'm sorry to say, men, for example, or I don't want to work with women. I want to work with children, right? For me, my experience is I literally just ask them, where can I help? Where can I be of service? And because they always, every time when I feel lost, they always say, go back to being here of service. Focus on love. And then all of a sudden I have clarity. Then I'm like, okay, so who can I help? And then I start to notice in my world, and this is just how they work with me, this is possibly because I am a little bit of a scatterbrain, so sometimes I might miss the messages. So they have to show me in the physical world. I see, for example, children who are, you know, worried or anxious, it's either in a conversation, or I see it somewhere, or I experience somewhere, or so-and-so's friend, or so-and-so's child, or then all of a sudden 2 clients ask me when I do children's sessions. I'm like, what is happening? The moment they said, children are coming up. So be open to it, because that's exciting. Have board meetings with your astral team. Now, if you're someone who doesn't work with guides or God or angels, but you believe in your higher self, then have a meeting with your higher self. Sit in meditation or however you connect, and just go like, okay, how can I be of service this week? Where am I needed? What can I do? If it's tarot, for example, and I like, and I swear this happens to me all the time. If I have sessions and they're bundled up, complete strangers, very similar topics. Sometimes I feel like, okay, am I like a broken record? Because either someone will come with marital problems and it'll be like 2 or 3 in one day or in a week. And it's just these bundled up, problems. But just ask them and just say, where am I needed? And just listen where you're being guided. And I think it's more fun, especially because here's what I know about light workers, spiritual people, creative people. We've been called scatterbrains. I mean, I think it's funny, but, for some, it's a big thing. We have been called that we can't focus, maybe ADHD, maybe mummy brain, maybe that we have the shiny object syndrome. But what I really believe is that we are all very creative. We are very connected to that part of us, and we are multi-passionate. So it would be very hard, and this is possibly why you find it a bit repelling to follow a standard business model, because the idea of picking an ideal client and a niche, and then figuring out a structure, and then perhaps creating some automated stuff might make you go like, oh, this feels too hard, so let's just leave it. Focus on the work that you're here to do. Now, let's talk a little bit about the practical setup of your business, okay? And if you haven't heard my podcast yet, I do talk a little bit more about it. But I feel like this is the part where people, are a little bit confused and they let that get in the way. Don't let it get in the way. Okay, so let's assume we know now what we want to start with. And let's say we are ready, but then we're like, okay, how do we go out? Pick a social media platform. Now, if you listen to a lot of the business gurus, they're like, spread yourself. You got to be everywhere. Maximize opportunities. Don't put your eggs in one basket. I don't know about you, but to me, that feels extremely overwhelming. And I don't know how to cross-promote stuff. I mean, I still struggle with sending the right links to people, so I don't know about that. So what I would say is pick one platform that you feel good about, or the best. You may not like social media at all, but just pick one where you think, okay, I can easily show up there if I have to. Could be Facebook, could be Twitter, could be Instagram. For me, it's really Instagram. And Instagram has this great feature where it actually allows you to, like, if I post something, it goes automatically into my Facebook, so I don't have to do anything. Pick one platform. Now, when you know what you value and you know yourself, you know how you want to show up. Just because you're spiritual doesn't mean you have to be super serious. It doesn't mean you have to be esoteric. You can be fun. You can bring lightness to it. I have a beautiful client. She says, all I want to do is make people smile and bring a little bit of lightness into their life. Fantastic. So when you pick that platform, start sharing now. Like, start sharing what you know already. When all I knew was past lives, I was sharing past lives from my clients. I was asking them, can I share the snippets? Can I share what I've learned about you in your past life? And I was asking my guides, what can you tell me about past lives? I know it's not a cool party trick only, for someone to know, oh, I want to know if I was Marilyn Monroe. There is something else to it. And as I was learning more and the healing potential that knowing about our past lives can do, that didn't make sense. Anyway, so when I knew more about past lives, I started sharing that. I started putting it into my post. And then what you want to do is, okay, the website part. How do we do a website? Because that is a scary thing. Can I just tell you, I taught a beautiful group of my mediumship friends, all ladies who blew me away how much they know about technology, but probably that's not their first natural thing to go to. And so setting up a website was, unless someone else does it for me, which will cost money, I don't know how I could do it. And I taught them very easy. Find the Milkshake app, and it's super easy. You set it from the app, and you take that link and you can put it in your Facebook, you can put it into your Instagram, you can even have it in your phone. And whenever someone asks, you know, can I get a link to your website, you can send them that. Now, we won't have time to go into much detail about Milkshake here, but in the resources that I want to share with you later, I will actually walk you through it if you don't know. But I feel like you've got this. If you want to see what Milkshake is like, go to my Instagram. I don't know why I'm pulling out my phone, but go to my Instagram, click on the link in my bio, and it will show you what it looks like. Now, my Milkshake is a little bit due for a little bit of an upgrade, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. But it will give you an idea. It's essentially, I call it the pocket website. Because you can set up an about page, about me page. You can set up a links page. You can have a page where you explain perhaps one of your services, or you can have a page where you link to maybe a blog post or podcast that you were a guest at. Like, you can do so much with it, and it's so easy, so super quick to set up, and they are free. There's no limitation. You can just set it up. You can have as many pages as you want. Now, in my belief, it is my belief that when we are first starting, we don't need to overthink this, okay? Have an about me page. That always helps. Have a page with the links to any services that you already know you want to offer. If all you have is one session, great. Just link that up, put it up, and basically when I say link, I mean link it to your PayPal. So that's another thing that's a bit tricky, and it would be, you know, too long to explain it here in this session, but have a PayPal account, create a few buttons, link it up to your website. That is it, to this Milkshake website. If you have a booking system, there's so many websites that offer you a lot for free. I use Acuity Scheduling, which is part of Squarespace. And I've got the paid version, but to be honest with you, this is my second year of having it. Before that, I was doing everything manually. It is, in all honesty, so great. It takes a lot of my work and away, and it just does it, and it's fantastic. But do you need it when you're starting off? I don't know. If you don't have the money, if you don't have the time to learn it, don't worry about it. You can just put people into your diary. When they pay you, just send them a message and just say, hey, here are the upcoming dates. Which one would you like, right? That's how I did it for a long, long time. Now, here is something that I want to tell you. I have a very limited VA. I don't really have a VA or anyone that helps me. And part of it is because I actually really like to be hands-on in my business, and I can do it. That's my choice. You may decide, I want to grow such a big business that there's no way I can do it all alone, right? For me, this feels actually really good. I want to be the one talking to people, engaging. I don't want to put anyone on automated reply or anything. I had it once and I actually didn't even know how to turn it off, and it was driving me crazy because I was missing all the messages. It doesn't feel good for me, but I'm not going to tell you you can't have a VA or you shouldn't have a VA. Whatever feels good for you. For me, the other reason is that because I like doing all this part, the money that I would have spent on a VA, I'd rather spend on the people that come to me that want to have a session or want to be part of something and they can't afford it, okay? I have a little budget there for that, and that's where I like to do it. That's just me. I'm not giving you this as this is a fantastic business advice, but this is just me. So this is why things take a little bit longer for me to do. My milkshake could use a bit of an update, but I'm okay with it because I'm like, the links work. People, if they want to, they have somewhere to go. They can read all the sessions that are available. My website, I've got a website, it's due for a bit of it. I'm actually going through it now and changing, but I want to change operators as well, so it's a bit of a tricky thing. But that's because I learned how to do websites from 2015 when Bluehost was the only one. Bluehost, I think it's called Bluehost or something, I can't remember. It was that one, and I've learned how to do websites. They're not fantastic great. It's not like I would offer these services, but it's enough for me. So again, I don't need someone to do it for me. It just takes a little bit longer, but I'm okay with this because I'm all about service. So my priority is I want to be available to people rather than have a schmick website and brand design. If brand design is important to you, great. Bring your focus to it, but please don't overthink it so much that it will stop you from actually doing your work. You don't need it. So all you need in terms of the setup, some social media platform, milkshake website, plenty enough. I mean, there are websites, and if you have the time and the money, of course, go down that path. But to keep it simple and get you going, I would have that. Maybe scheduling system if you want to. And what was the other one? Can't remember. You can have a VA at some point if you want to. You don't have to. Oh yeah, the bigger websites. You can set up a bigger website, but don't feel like you have to. If you want to create a brand, you know, work on the colors, the palettes, because you truly enjoy it, great. You know what happens to me, and my beautiful friend Tracy, who is amazing at brand design, offered 2 years ago to help me with a bit of a shake-up because I wanted to change my colors. We spent about 2 weeks of this woman's life of her going back and forth, creating this beautiful mood board for me with all the colors that I thought I wanted. And after about a few days, I said, oh my God, I can't. It's too hard for me. I don't know which colors to put where. I'm overthinking it now. It took me 2 weeks to even figure out what colors I want, okay? So she created this, and I didn't even want to use it because it was too hard. So I went back to my charcoal, gold, and white because I'm like, that is easy. Right, I've changed since a little bit, but it's still nothing is cohesive on my Instagram. I have also changed my Instagram. I don't know if anyone noticed it or not. I mean, I guess if you moved over with me, you would have. I've done that because I had what looked like an okay audience. I think it was over 2,000, almost 3,000 people on my account. But there were people, like majority of them, that were probably from, I don't know, my lash coaching business. And so they weren't engaging. And because they weren't engaging, they were bringing down the algorithm for me. So it wasn't serving me. And I decided I actually want to start fresh. I want to bring new energy to it. And I'd rather have a small audience, but a very focused audience. I want to have a small but focused audience. If more come, great, but I want them to come for the right reasons. I don't engage in this whole follow for follow. I don't follow my clients at all because I don't want anything to affect any of our sessions. I want to be able to go like, oh, wow, well, I got that right because they told me, hey, I've just posted about this. Well, I don't know because I'm not following you. So, so in terms of that, please don't make it hard. It's not hard. What is important is you and your gift and the energy that you will give out. When I work with my clients, I teach them how to energetically magnetize people to them, okay? How to create a positive energy field so that when people come to you for whatever reason, they want to stay. They want to buy many products from you or many services or want to keep coming back for sessions. I am always so grateful when someone has had a spirit session and it keeps coming back to it, you know, whenever they need it, because they could go anywhere. Anyway, there's so many great psychics and spiritual people, but they choose to come back. And that is amazing to me. And I'm so grateful. I don't like launching. gonna be honest with you, I don't like launching. Like when I have a way that I can be of service and help, it happens very quick. And I don't like launching because it brings me back into the 3D way of making business. And I don't like that structure. I want to come today and talk to you because it feels good for me, not because I have it in my schedule that today I've got to run another class or a session, or I've got to show up live because we're in a launch period. Cold launch, warm launch, warming up the audience, you know, heating them up. I don't know. I don't like it. Oh, email list. Sorry, they just showed me my email list. So I'm going to mention that as well. And you've done very well sticking around for this long, so I really, really am grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We will do Q&A in a minute for those of you who are here. But I just want to tell you about email lists. Okay. You may have heard a lot of business people have been drumming this into the ether, the cyberspace, since at least 2015, when I was really focused on online business, that you should have your own email list. The reason they're saying this is because if you only use social media like Instagram or Facebook, you are on borrowed land. You're basically just renting space there. At any time, someone can pull a pin, or Facebook can shut down, and you may lose or you get hacked or locked out, and you will lose the people that are part of your group, your audience. Now, I am just kind of warming up to the idea of writing emails, as in like getting the hang of what feels good. But I would recommend it, but I don't want you to think that, well, crap, now I have to learn how to do that. Again, this is something that will come, okay? Right now, what is important is to bring community to you. So we have this group, Solid Spirit Driven, and it has, I think, 540 something people. And you may have missed this maybe in a podcast, but what I want to do now, I'm changing it up a little bit, and I want to how do I say this? I want to open it as a platform for people, light workers, spiritual entrepreneurs who know that they can add value to the group, to organize with me a time, day, and come and do a session, a workshop, and we'll put all the links there. Now, like I said in that podcast, we have had a Spotlight Saturday, but in my belief, when you just come on Saturday and use that post, that space, but no one really knows about you and everyone else is posting similar things, like why would people choose you, right? But if you come and you share a little bit something about you and people hear you and see you and they feel your energy, you are more likely to build from my audience, right? So we are going to share. Now, in that group, there are spiritual workers like yourselves. There are also just people who have normal, other regular jobs, but they are on a spiritual path. So I believe that whether you're an artist, whether you are a writer, whether you are someone who wants to run sessions, healing sessions, somatic sessions, circles, that is a good place to start. But I want you to come and add value to it. So that is one part. Now, obviously, I also have the podcast, which is a beautiful tool. And I always like to highlight and spotlight someone who can add value to the audience. So we have these tools at our disposal, which is great because it helps you to spread your message. You just have to know where you are starting, and you have to just tell yourself, I don't believe that I'm not worthy. I don't believe that, I'm not deserving. I don't believe that I don't know enough, and I'm not buying into the fear. That's rubbish. It is that human BS that doesn't make sense. It's like this 0.0000%, right? Like 0.0 actually. It's not real. More of you believes that you are powerful, limitless. You can magnetize anything to you. You are here to help, to be a spark for others, to awaken them, to heal, to elevate the frequency of Earth, but also people. That's what the majority of who you are believes. So when we have that, now let me just tell you, before we go into Q&A, this is, if you want to take this into a more personalized space, like obviously here we can't tune into your unique blueprint. Now, depending on your star seed and who you are, obviously what your gifts are, your path will look a little bit different. So when I was thinking and sitting with my astral team, like how do we make this a little bit more personal? I I wanted to offer 4 sessions, group sessions. See, I don't even have a name for this. This is like a proper business person with a launch and everything would have like a name. I don't have a name, but here's what we can do. 4 sessions. Well, we sit in each session, we're going to focus on something else. So in one of the sessions, I'm going to show you how to set up Milkshake, how to set up, oh, that was something else. I don't even have my notes. Anyway, it'll be more of a, I'll show you how to set it up so you don't have any excuses that you can't do it. In one session, the first session, we're going to focus on your gifts, your path. What do we have now? How do we get started? It'll be, you know, like you will walk away knowing exactly what your next steps are. Okay, we're going to connect to the Akashic Records. We're going to work with all of that. And we're also, by the end of it, we are going to start tapping into the audience. So you will get the opportunity. I say opportunity, but really because I don't want to force you to do it, but that's my goal. I would like you to feel like, okay, you will be the first ones to come into Soulland and say, hello, world. This is what I'm here to offer. This is how I can help you. This is how I can be of service. Here's where you can find me. We will have all that in place, and then that's how we're going to finish. And I want to do it for $99 for the whole thing. But I'm also doing something different that I haven't done before. I have an Instagram account that is private, and it is just for spiritual people to help them with their social media and their content. So it is at the moment $9 per month, and you can cancel, of course, anytime you want. And in there, we will do a show and tell on Canva, how to create posts. Now, if you're like me, you probably don't like to batch your content because you batch 10 posts and then you get midweek and you're like, oh God, this doesn't resonate. It's good to have it as a backup. I do that because sometimes I'm like, I want to post something, but I don't know what. Then I pull out my batch. But that's not part of like how I do. I like to do it in a moment. I like to feel it and then I go and do it. I will teach you how to go live in there. So this is closed off account, and only if you're in there, you can see it. You can watch the videos, you can replay it. The templates will be available to you. So if you choose to go with the 99 for the 4 sessions and do that, you can then also get Instagram for $9 as a, I guess, founding member. The price is going to be a little bit higher for anyone off the street. And if you want to combine it with a one-on-one session, so you may know my Catalyst session, the 1 hour, if you want to do that, the 4 sessions, the 4 group sessions, plus the one-on-one is 222, and you will get 1 month in that Instagram thing for free. So you don't have to worry about any of this though. For now, I will send you in one of the emails links, and you can choose if you want to. You might actually go, this was so much, I can do it, and that is fantastic. All I care about is that all these beautiful light workers, because I was really overwhelmed how many are sitting on their gifts and not doing anything because of ridiculous human crap that we don't need to focus on. So we need to get out there. You have my group as your platform. You have my podcast as your platform. And I just need you to know, this is my gift. This is what I'm here for. This is what I'm doing. Thank you. I am done. Do we have any questions? Please feel free. If you have any questions, I am happy to take them. If not, pat on the back. You've done well. No, I'm kidding. Of course, if you have any questions, I do want to answer them. And you are welcome to unmute yourself. Hey, Ellen.
Hi. I just wanted to ask about, I think, is it called Soul School? Is that something that you're still doing and feels kind of maybe relevant to this?
Because you have done Liberato. Yes, so I offer it to Liberato alumni because we're going deeper into the gifts, and we're learning more about it. So it's almost like Liberato was the catalyst, and there's more. And we are going to actually in May start to work with a sitter so that you can practice on a person.
Okay, thank you.
And if you have any additional questions, you can feel free to ask me or message me. But yes, Soul School is a monthly. It's 55 a month, but you can combine it with Earth School. If you are in Earth School, you can combine it, and then it's 88. Do you have any other questions that I can answer for you? No? Oh, wow. Oh, we've done well. Well, if anyone thinks of any questions afterwards, I just felt like we got so many good topics and there's so much that I could talk about, but I want to also kind of do it in a place where you have the opportunity to ask anything that is relevant to you. Obviously, I really want to highlight this because I didn't get to it, but I'll just quickly say each one of us, all of us, is here on a unique mission. We have a unique soul's blueprint. So even though we're all connected, we're all from the same source, we are having our own human experience. So what this means is, you know, it's hard to say, just because you're a tarot reader, you should follow this structure. If you're an artist, intuitive artist, you follow that. It's much easier when we tune into your star seed, for example, what your pains are in terms of the stories that you carry as a soul. That unique blueprint, when we open that up and we talk about it, we can move forward, because some of you are here from the angelic realms. They move at a slower pace, and so you might be looking at all these overnight successes or people who started alongside you and they're further ahead, and you might feel like, wow, what am I doing wrong? I'm still here. It's because you're trying to do business this way, but you're not that starseed. You're a different starseed. And so that is another important thing to remember. Okay, we're all different. We're all here on a unique mission, and that makes it also easier to stay in your own lane. All right, my beautiful ones, I am so grateful that you were here with me for like, oh God, I think over an hour I've kept you, but I really appreciate you being here. If you think of any questions, thank you, Ellie. If you think of any questions, please feel free to message me, and otherwise I will see you around somewhere. Bye. Thank you. Oh, so good. Thanks.